I hope so you don't hear within the power later, so no be small matter. It don't shell, it don't choke. This one now real official gbese. We're no longer talking about MMM, that one has come and gone. We are not talking about C-Bex, that one done the worker delivers. We are not talking about real estate MMM. For those of you in real estate sector, you woke up to the news that yes, the almighty P1, the Property World Africa Network you call P1, who is running an initiative they call the P1 Max, is a Ponzi scheme. No be me talking. Now the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, now them talk this one put. They have branded P1 a Ponzi scheme. What do? They come to you, unsuspecting buyer. They tell you about non-existent properties. You invest your money into these properties you've not seen. They now take your money to elsewhere to do investment. We go consign them alone. And guess what? They will come promising you unrealistic high returns to make it sound lucrative and interesting to you. And because you have got the money in your bank account, you want that return on investment, and they tell you invest this today and you get 400% increase in the near future. You will rush and invest your money because it sounds as good as what you want to hear. Now, it is confirmed that P1 is a Ponzi scheme. So if you are not seeing the idea of investing in whatever property they are coming through with, please, my dear friend, stay away. This particular P1 we are talking about, if you watched our previous video on the YouTube, you go see say, yes, this P1 has got the highest number of unapproved estates and layouts in Anambra State. Anambra State government made the announcement officially. So P1 is always on the wrong side of the news, which makes it unhealthy and unfit for your investment. I'm not going to talk this one alone, leave body. I have got a property lawyer in the building, a very senior police officer, and the founder of Encumberedproperties.com. Mr. Madueke Enwere. He's going to do justice to the many questions on our lips. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. Thank you so much, Mr. Madueke Enwere. Thank you so much for being here again.
It's my pleasure to always be here for the interest of the public.
Gaskially speaking, you know, somebody woke me up with a call this morning from my place. I was like, hello, Chinedu, I want Alamo. I say, what happened? They say, P1. They say, now, Ponzi scheme. I say, which one is P1 again? I had to start investigating P1. And I figured out that the Securities and the Exchange Commission has branded P1 a Ponzi scheme. So I see this more like a real estate MMM, like I already highlighted. I want to ask a few questions. As a property lawyer, I don't know if you had any experiences in the past. What are the characteristics of Ponzi? You know, what are the things you look out for in a certain organization or firm that makes it a Ponzi scheme?
An organization could be branded a Ponzi scheme if what they are doing is not sustainable. Sustainability is the future of any business. Why has SEC come out to say that the model P1 is operating is a Ponzi model, warning the members of the public to be wary of investing their money into the model of P1? So when, for instance, they are promising 30% on investment, what is the guarantee? Let's even assume that you buy property from them. What is the guarantee that after 12 months, that property will appreciate by 30%?
How do you even monitor it yourself?
Let me also shock you. It was on this Encumbered Properties Red Alert that you reeled out of the 154 illegal real estates in Anambra State. P1, as a company, has the highest number of illegal real estate in Anambra State. Right. This is where they're collecting money from people, investing in an unlawful layout. What will be the value of this real estate P1 has in Anambra State that have been tagged as unrecognized, illegal, and unapproved? What they're doing is not sustainable because where they're collecting money from people to put is not a recognized layout. So that people won't wake up tomorrow and discover they have used their money to buy a tissue paper.
Gaskily speaking.
That is One, when your scheme is not sustainable, by their interest rate, it is not sustainable. Secondly, when a business outfit relies on recruiting in order to service their pre-existing customers.
Recruiting like how?
Recruiting in the sense that I collect money from Mr. A.
Okay.
For me to pay back to Mr. A, I need to collect money from Mr. B. For me to pay the interest I promised Mr. B, I need to collect money from Mr. C. For me to pay Mr. C, I need to collect money from Mr. D.
So I need your business.
So you find out that you need to continuously be on the drive. Recruiting, and at any stage, when people stop giving their money to P1, that will be the crash. The system will automatically what? Crash. Because they won't be able to meet up with promises again. For them to remain relevant, they need to continuously be on the go.
So they need new subscribers almost on a daily basis.
On daily basis. Otherwise, they won't be able to meet up. That is another feature of what? A Ponzi scheme. And another feature of a Ponzi scheme is it has this pyramid nature. You know, you start from the top. As you are recruiting, the base is expanding. It keeps on expanding. It keeps on expanding. It keeps on expanding. At any point, the base begins to thin out. The whole pyramid will do what? Crash.
I would want to know, what are the regulatory requirements for a real estate investment company to be termed legitimate?
Generally, a real estate investment company, for you to, for instance, ask the members of the public to bring their fund for you to manage for them, for you to invest for them in real estate, for them to make gain out of it. It comes under the vehicle of real estate investment that is called REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. It is called REIT. How REIT operates is like your conventional stock, where you go to the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange and buy shares. And along the line, once the shares appreciate, you make gain. If you resell, you also make gain. So for you to begin to call the members of the public, for them to bring their funds, for you to manage for them and give them gain on top of whatever they have invested, it is like a REIT. And the SEC has said that this is not registered as such. P1 is not registered as such. And in one of their releases, in response to alarm raised by SEC, is that they are now in the process of registering with SEC.
In the process, yet aggressively marketing the properties?
Consequent upon SEC's alarm, they said in one of their releases that they are now in the process of trying to register with SEC.
How does that pacify
you see, that is exactly what is happening in Nigeria real estate sector. You want to do this before you would have gotten the necessary legal requirement. You are already collecting money from people. And the information is that there has been cases of failure to honor demand for payment from their investors.
Yes, they, according to reports,
they deny but yes, but they are trying to say it is not true. I have a classical example. The same model with what P1 is doing. This is Oxford Investment Fund. Okay. See, Oxford Investment Fund, in those days, like that was 4 or 5 years ago, they were everywhere advertising. Someone followed me up. He told me everything, that these people are everywhere. Oxford Investment Trust, you know, is they call themselves Oxford International Group. They say they have their address at Gowon Estate, Ebeda, Lagos. And I invested with them. Do you know the funny thing? After investing with them, do you know how much they promised? They promised 24 months. They call it under their real estate investment as well. They call it Build Vest Plus, like P1 Pro. Yeah. So this one is another word, Build Vest Plus. And what is their percentage? As much as 75%.
75% of what
75%. Is it realistic? And as greedy as I was,
so how much are they going to give the business?
and as greedy as I was, I calculated what will be the interest after 24 months. I pushed the money. They wrote the check. I asked somebody to pick up. Along the line, the guy got there. The information was that they have packed up. And when I tried making further inquiries, they said that SEC closed their account, EFCC did this, blah, 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 blah. That was how both the check and the capital, and even where they claim that they have properties in Lagos, they have properties in Port Harcourt, they have properties here, they have properties there, you find out that they are all illegal layouts. So this is not the first of...
There was no property of their illegal layouts.
Where will you even see them to hold them accountable? People who were on the net, who had the privilege of coming across these people, they will be able to attest to what I'm telling you. So you find out that this is not the first of its kind. You can Google it. So Oxford Investment Group. Yes.
Their dates. I would love to know their dates.
I've told you, as I mentioned in the course of this discussion, one of their baits is high interest. High interest. High interest. They will promise you that they will be able to give you as much as this. And human nature now. Who doesn't want a quick return?
Do they have testimonials to back up their baits?
Yeah. Most often, before they will generate that kind of money flow that will make them to close up with people's money or run away with people's money, they would have generated some level of confidence.
Right.
Once they build confidence over some months, the people that have benefited, they will not take the good news in quotes.
Right.
And begin to spread it.
Right.
And they would always promise them, anybody you bring, in addition to your own return on investment on your initial capital, you will still earn what is called referral bonus. They may give them as much as 3%, 5% of whatever the person they are bringing is investing. Who doesn't like that kind of money? Before you know, you begin to tell your brother, you begin to tell your sister, you begin to tell everybody around you. So it has happened before, and I happened to be a victim, and I was a victim of MMM, a victim of the model of P1 system. That's why when, in fact, my brother told me about it. I know he will see this video. When that news from SEC came out, I forwarded it to him. So he sent me the press release from P1, which says that they are in the process of registering. We are then not supposed to register before soliciting funds from the members of the public.
You know what I mean?
Are the members of the public that are collecting money from aware that the about 5 layouts P1 has in Anambra State, all of them are flagged as illegal?
Funnily enough, a lot of people have invested in that.
So the next bait these people have in attracting people is the human nature. Human beings are naturally greedy. So our human nature, outrageous interests and the initial building of confidence by meeting up with their promises. These are the things they put in place to attract people.
And when someone you believe so much in comes through with this kind of information that, yes, I've benefited from this. You'll
be like, I'm missing out, or let me go and collect my own. As you put hand, the thing go hook.
And it's unfortunate that most of those people who benefit from them from day one might not be aware that this has been Ponzi all along.
Well, it's in the interest of anybody watching this video, for our friends, our relatives who might not be aware, so that they don't, get entrapped, to share the video so that it gets to as many people as possible, so that we save ourselves, so that we become our brother's keeper by so doing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Madueke. This is more like an eye-opener for me. I have learned a lot from our conversation. Thank you for opening my eyes to these realities. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So, my dear friend, Encumbered from the legal practitioner, and of course, a very senior police officer, I wouldn't want you to lose your money in these hard times. Remember, at Encumberedproperties.com, the safety of your real estate investment is our priority. Stay away from troubled properties. No go use your money buy wahala. My name is Rex Chinedu Agwarike. Thanking you for watching.